Hi everyone, sorry the top part of my head has been cut off, but I have to, in order for it to record all of this over here, it cuts off part of my head, but that's okay. So, welcome to another episode of Southern Sunday Suppers. We are making crock pot Salisbury steak. Look how old this recipe is, guys. What they call an oldie but a goodie. Now, we don't have all the ingredients to this, but I'll let you know what all the ingredients are. I think I've made a video of this before, so I'll let you know what to add. And then I am going to make peach cobbler. Once again, don't have all the ingredients. Like, it calls for a cup of milk. Don't have any, so we're going to use some evaporated milk. And as you can tell, I've recently made some changes to it, so I will be sharing these changes with y'all. Alright, so I have a family of 5. I am doubling this recipe, but I will tell you the amounts that you'll be using. So let me go ahead and heat up my skillet. And you'll have 1 pound of lean ground beef. And then I'm going to add in, you'll add in a teaspoon of salt. And then also it's calling for a teaspoon of black pepper. Now I think I'm going to keep the black pepper the same on this. You know me, I cannot handle spicy. And then we're going to add in some breadcrumbs and egg. I can, look at that, always does that to me, it's like crooked. Alright, so I can't even read that. 1 cup of breadcrumbs, so we're going to use however much I have in there. It's probably about a cup and a half. And this is, did you see that mess I made? Just the Great Value Italian style breadcrumbs. And then your egg. This does not want to crack. There we go. Alright, now we get to mix it with our hands. Now we're going to form these into patties, and then we're going to fry them until brown on both sides, because they're going to finish cooking in the slow cooker. Now, I love my Salisbury steak served with mashed potatoes. My family, the kids, love rice. So we're going to do rice. That way I don't have to waste or make any mashed potatoes. So I do like these. They are very thick. You do not have to make yours this thick. There we go, we're sizzling. Also, if you don't want to add salt and pepper to it, you don't have to. You can add any seasonings you wish. If you want like garlic powder, garlic salt, Lawry seasoned salt, whatever. You go right ahead. Now we're starting to sizzle. So I'm going to form these and then have them start browning. And I'm going to get my rice cooker out so that way it can be cooking the rice. Now, if you do not have a slow cooker or you don't want to use a slow cooker, after you brown the patties, you will put them in a 9 by 13 inch baking dish. And you'll add after you brown the patties and everything, you can bake it in the oven with the gravy mixture at 350 degrees for around 30 minutes. So I'm hoping to get 8 very large patties out of this. I think we'll be able to do that. So I'm going to wash my hands and then get the rice started. Alright, we have our rice going in the rice cooker, so I'm going to check and see if it's time to flip over the Salisbury steaks. Oh yeah, we're nice and brown. Hopefully you guys can see that. I always struggle with flipping like 2 of them. The other 2 I always do well. these have been browning for a little while. So I have my slow cooker over here. Well, they call it crock pot on low. I'm going to go ahead and transfer these over. And then I'm going to patty up the next 4. And we're going to get those started as well. Gosh, did you see what I tried to do? I tried to put the lid on the frying pan. Oh, Lord. Does that mean I need a nap? Hey, I show it all. The good, the bad, the ugly, the mistakes, the funny. Now, if you don't want a thicker patty, no worries. You do not need to. I cannot believe I still did that. Well, the other night, I caught myself. We've been having trouble with our well. It's being worked on. We had a water line put in, a new one. And so I've been eating off of paper plates. Not for every meal. But it was so funny because I had to catch myself. I was putting the paper plate in the sink and the fork in the trash can. And I was like, what? Am I actually doing that? I said, yeah, I am. Alright, so while these are browning, if you wanted to, you could slice some mushrooms or some onions or both if you wanted to. I'm not going to just because my kids don't like that. We're going to see if this batch is ready to be turned over. This one's probably my smallest patty, but that's okay. I'll eat it. Ooh, these are nice and brown. Okay, we're going to wait till these brown, and then we're going to get started on our gravy. Remember, if you want to add sliced onions or mushrooms or whatever, you may certainly go ahead and slice them up, and then once we transfer these patties into the slow cooker, crock pot, whatever you call it, then you can saute them up. Trying to transfer these patties over to the slow cooker. Hopefully I won't try and put the lid on top of the pan this time. That was hilarious. Alright, now, once we transfer these over, you want to saute something, go ahead and saute it so it's nice and soft, and you may add it on top of your Salisbury steak. As you can see, we've got a lot of pan drippings here. That's where your flavor is, but this is, this is what your flavor is, but that's a lot of grease. So I'm going to be removing some of this. But we will still be keeping some because, like I said, this is good flavor. Now, if you have a diet where you cannot have this extra grease, just please go ahead and dump it out. I don't want you getting, sick or anything. Alright, I will dump that out later. Okay, so you're supposed to be adding in with some beef broth. Let's see. Where is that at? 1 cup of beef broth, or excuse me, 1 14-ounce can of beef broth, or half a carton, and then in some 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and 2 tablespoons of water, and then 1 packet of brown gravy mix. Well, I don't have cornstarch or any of that, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add in my water so I can kind of break up some of the delicious bits here, and it will sizzle. Let it sizzle, let it roll. Now what I do have is 2 brown gravy mixes. I'm going to go ahead, stop, and I'm going to add them to my pan, and then I'm going to mix it up. So, now we're making do with what we've got, which is Appalachian Living. It's Appalachian Living part. And it's also ingenuity, I feel like I thought there was some more in there. I could hear it and feel it. I'm going to have to clean up this stove. So let me mix it up. And it's already thickening up really nice. And then I'm going to cut the heat. And I'm going to pour it over our Salisbury steaks. We like extra gravy, And then we'll get started on our peach cobbler. Go ahead and I'm going to cut the heat. It's sticking up really nice. Alright, let's go ahead. Let me get out a spatula just in case. And we're going to add our delicious gravy. I love to serve this with green beans. Unfortunately, I am out of green beans. So I'm not quite for sure what our vegetable is going to be. Now, put the lid on. We clean up. And we'll get started on our peach cobbler. Now we're going to start our peach cobbler. So I'm going to preheat. Let me make sure nothing's in there. Our oven to 350. I have 4 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to go ahead and put that in my little baking dish. It calls for a 9x9. This is 8x8. It's what I make my brownies in, but it's okay. So while it's heating up, we're going to go ahead and put our butter in there. And then in a bowl, let me get my spatula. I always like to mix up my flour a little bit to get like any lumps or anything out of it. Alright, so we're going to mix our flour, which this is 1 cup of all-purpose flour. Our sugar, now this is an odd measurement, but it's really delicious in my opinion. So it's 1/2 plus 1/3 of a cup of just white granulated sugar. I have to go ahead and mix that up. And then we're going to add in 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Okay, let me go find it. It was way back in my cupboard. Like, I normally keep it over on the left side, but for some odd reason it was way over on the right hand side. And I found something while in there I'm going to show you guys. Maybe you know what it is. Well, I mean, I know what it is, but I don't know what the date is. So, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And I have learned to sprinkle in some cinnamon into the flour mixture. I just recently started doing that. I tell you what, guys, I have added to my spices and I can't find anything anymore. I've got to organize. Oh, there we go. I most definitely need to organize, but I'm like, ah. Alright, let me look for it. Finally found it. Guys, I wonder if somebody's like playing tricks on me, like moving stuff around. Alright, so we're literally just going to sprinkle some in there. It's up to you how much you want to add. Oh, it smells so good. Okay. And then a pinch of salt, which I usually just do like a 1-2 little dash. Alright, and it calls for 1 cup of milk, and remember, I'm out. And so I'm going to use evaporated milk. I'm sure it'll taste the same. I mean, hopefully, right? These I use to measure out our flour and our sugar. It's almost a whole can, wasn't it? We'll mix it. And then we're going to check on the butter. I'll mix this up all the way. You guys see? Yeah, okay. Okay, it's still melting, so we're going to give it some time. Since this is Southern Sunday Suppers, you know, it's a little different from everything else. So while I was looking for my cinnamon, I found this. Watkins Double Strength Vanilla. I wonder how old this is because there's not a barcode on it. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know where I found this. I wonder if it's from my sister-in-law's, Annie, from her house. Or, well, actually her mom, Virginia's house. It's made in the USA. So, I don't even know if I've opened it. Apparently I haven't been working out. Says, oh, trial mark or something. Oh, Lord. Oh, it just smells like vanilla extract. Okay. Oh, speaking of vanilla extract, holy moly, because I have changed this up. Let's add a splash of vanilla extract. Guys, you know my splashes are more like a tablespoon, half a tablespoon, whatever. Mix that up. Let's check on the butter. Where's my pot holders? Oh. They're old, but they work, and they're stained. Like, they're clean, but they're stained. So I actually hid them, because I normally have them hanging up right here. But I was a little embarrassed. I know. We are who we are. Okay. So now I'm going to pour the batter over the butter. I love peach cobbler. Cobbler. Peach cobbler. If I can talk, guys, I will tell you that I love this. I love the smell of peaches. I love the taste of peaches. They're so pretty. Okay. I have canned some, but I haven't cracked them open yet. Alright, so now we're going to open up our 15-ounce can of peaches. Now, some people just like to put the peaches over it. That's it. Let me grab a fork. I totally forgot. I like to add the peaches and some of the juice. Some people do not because they're like, it's, you know, doughy to them. To me, it's perfection. And then I have recently just started adding some cinnamon on top. Oh, don't fall. On top of this. There's old Rosie Poo. Remember Rose is the cat that we rescued. Took her to the vet. She is, well, she's had 2 vet appointments. She's 3.2 pounds. And she was 2 weeks, 4 days old when we rescued her. And she's going to be spayed next month in August. So, alright, I'm going to sprinkle, not sprinkle, but I'm going to pour a little bit of this on there. It may be the whole thing, I don't know. Me, I love it. One time I added too much and it was way too wet and doughy. And add on some ground cinnamon. Yeah, these Southern Sunday suppers, I like them because I can talk to you guys and cook at the same time. Let me grab some sugar, see if we can sprinkle some sugar on here as well. I did have my sugar in this, but we've had a lot of rain, so moisture got into it, and it just clumped together. So I've got it cleaned up, set to the side. So we're going to put some sugar on this. And then I've got one more thing I wanted to show you guys. Okay, let's pop it in the oven for 35 to 45 minutes. I'm going to set the timer for 35, and then we'll check it. Let me go grab the item. All right, I have it. So, like I said, this is Southern Sunday Suppers, so I'm just sharing, you know, other things. I'm trying to figure out where to look at. Don't look here? Oh no. So, Virginia is my sister-in-law's mom, and she's passed, and she had a stroke. So we went to their house in was it Royston, Georgia? I'm thinking, and then we helped them clean it out because Annie and my brother, now this is my brother's ex-wife, but I love her to death. So, you know, they were married over 20 years, so she's part of our family. So, but they were still married at the time. So we went over to help them clean up her house because my brother and his ex-wife at the, wife at the time were going to help take care of her. And I love old vintage things, and I found this in Virginia's medicine cabinet, and I asked Annie, I said, hey Annie, can I have this? And she's like, sure. So there's a $2 price tag on it, and it says the original, hold on, something white oint, I don't know, let me see, because it's all, but let me read you the ingredients. Active ingredients are ammonium hydroxide, turpentine, pine oil, and ammonium chloride. Now, when you open this, it will knock your socks off. It does have a strong odor of, I don't know what turpentine smells like, but I can't tell if it's pine. Sorry. It may pine and probably turpentine, I don't know. But there's a story that goes along with this. I've had this bottle for years up in the medicine cabinet, and it's for decor. I hurt my back several years ago at Stanley Furniture when I worked for them, and Stanley paid for the shots, and the only pain medicine I got was ibuprofen because I don't believe in taking anything strong. So, it flares up from time to time, but it's not very often. So I had a flare-up, and it hurt so bad that I was like literally, you know, shuffling and bent over to walk. I was on heating pads, ibuprofen, Epsom salt baths, ibuprofen, lived off of it. Nothing was working. So I remembered I had this, and I showed it to my husband, and I said, do you think, well, it's Rose, you want to say hi? I said, do you think I could, put some of this on my back? And my husband's like, yeah, give it a try. I put some on my back, like lotion, you know, rubbed it in, and it worked. It took the pain away. I couldn't believe it. Like, I was like, for the first time in weeks or months, I'm not in any pain. And I think it might have been thanks to the pine turpentine. But yeah, that's a funny story I wanted to share, because with these Southern Sunday suppers, it's a lot of talking and a lot of community and family. And you guys are my family, aren't they, Rose? Yeah. So guess what I forgot to do? I forgot to set the timer for our peach cobbler. Totally forgot about it until it started smelling something. I said, boy, that smells good. What is that? And I was like, oh yeah, I made peach cobbler. My mom said I could plan my own surprise party. I forget a lot. So, let's go check it. Looks like we're going to give it a couple more minutes, but it smells delicious. Just pulled it out of the oven, and it smells delicious. They should make a candle that smells like this. Alright, supper's ready, y'all. There's our Salisbury steak, our rice, peach cobbler, and let me get the green beans. I did find some. And the green beans.